Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, yeah. Neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah, let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Hello, peeps. Hope you're having a great day. And we're going to talk about the Idaho 4 case today. And when we talk about this case, we're using our First Amendment rights. Everything we are talking about is alleged. This is, for education as we do our research and read documents that we can find in this case. Sometimes it's for entertainment because we chuckle about things that we find a little crazy or anything we can find that's lighthearted. And the reason that I'm still talking about the Idaho 4 case and we're all still gathering to discuss the Idaho 4 case is because they have not released the case file yet. So they have a person in prison, took a plea deal, said he's the guy, hasn't said a word since. So we should be able to see their case against him full and free to the public, and that hasn't happened yet. So there's lots of information about that. So as we're just getting pieces and parts, we're reading them as we have the right to and analyzing them, talking about them. And, it's frustrating because I feel like we shouldn't have to be doing this with this case. We should have complete answers. And one of the things that's frustrating as we're looking at what has been released is that they don't, there's evidence, and this all ties together with the people are now coming out, organizations questioning the finances involved with this case, right? How much money did they spend on a case that never went to trial And to me personally, you can let me know in the chat, or if you're watching on replay, let me know in the comments. I see that astronomical number of what they paid for this process, this legal process that they went through. And what did they do? And the reason why we don't have answers is because we're seeing evidence. We feel like we don't have answers. We haven't seen the answers. There's evidence that should have been tested. We could easily find out answers if unknown male B, I believe that's Q1.4, the blood stain on the knife sheath, if that was compared to all the names, the subjects that they had in this case, all their other suspects. I believe there were alternative perpetrators that the defense was not allowed to put forward. I see your comments. I'm going to respond in a minute. Q1.4, test it against all these people that were questioning or have a possible motive. Or then there's unknown male C, hello, over in Jack D's house. Weird. I know there's I get corrected about that, so I'm still putting that out there until I see it labeled differently. Unknown male D, I believe, was on the glove outside. Hello, bloody glove outside of a crime scene. And back to Q1.4, they used it, I believe, to eliminate Jose Cruz. Like, they compared Q1.4 to Jose Cruz and said it's not him. So then they must have a profile to compare two people, is my point. So is there more evidence out there that they did do that? Why don't you show it? Why can't we see it? Why can't we see that? So we're still discussing this because we see unknown males in a crime scene, in evidence, and we're like, who are they? We see the victim's wounds and the crime scene and are like, how many people did this? So I'm just stating my case for our questions and why we keep coming back to this and analyzing every little thing. So, they need to release the complete case file. The way that they are charging for records requests is ridiculous. I personally sent in a records request last week. Literally gave them here's the report number, here's the person that I think it is, here's the detectives who conducted the interviews, and here's the way that the audio recording was labeled, the tag number, the way that they put it into evidence. And they came back with they closed it because I didn't give them enough information. I don't know what's going on with that. One of my thoughts about that is, did they kind of, I don't want to use that analogy. Did they screw themselves up by mislabeling everything? And so now it's harder to find stuff. I don't know. Again, we're speculating about things with this case. So they should do the testing. Someone needs to do that testing. I mean, come on. There's hair in both rooms, bigger samples in some than others, hair in a victim's hand, hair on a bed rail, hair on the floor, hair in the sheets, hair on the blankets. Let's find out whose hair that is. So one of the people, or I'll just tell you, before I get into like my topic for today, because we're going to talk about Mason Bangman and my thoughts about him, some things that I've been able to find about him. I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And I saw lots of comments. Thank you for complimenting my skin tone. I got a little shine going on, but it's because of my lights. And I only have so much space in this room and I can't dim the light. I'm going to have to find like a cover or something for it. But I'm like, if I sit back here, it's good. Should I just sit back here? I just need like about 2 more feet to scooch back. But thank you, you guys. Yeah, I was outside all day yesterday. It was wonderful. And I picked the right day. Today it's still hot outside, but I think it's a little bit more cloudy. So yesterday was the perfect day to I tried my live at night. I tried a nighttime live last night and I enjoyed it for my schedule. And I enjoyed it because like Dylan and Leah, they came up with me. Got to see some new people in the chat who probably can't make it in the morning time. So that was wonderful. But I still feel like this is my time slot. So this is going to stay my time slot for those of you that are wondering. You guys are so kind. You guys are so kind. So good morning, G Bean. Let me say hello to the mods. G Bean is here. And I'm scrolling up. Are you the only mod here so far? That's fine. That's totally fine. We all have lives and we have to do our things. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Love Tina. Sweet Pea. Hello. I hope you're great today. The Holly Berry. It's super hot where you are too. We might be on the same, possibly on the same like latitude line around the world. We got this. We got this. Yes, we do. Hi, Blue Devil. Hello, Wendy. Uh-oh. Murder has a name. Contest that. Yeah. I wish. I guess they take submissions for requests. Blue-eyed butterfly. Hello, hello. The gang's all here. Hi, Halls. I did not color my hair. It's actually still kind of damp. I have aging hair tips. I let my hair air dry a lot. I think blow drying it just dries it out and like damages it so much. So I put a nice heat resistant product in it, and I did blow dry it a little bit this morning, but I only do it to like get the sopping wetness out. And then I just let it do its thing. I didn't do anything else to it. This is just blow dried a little and that's it. Oh my gosh, Jenna, could you imagine if they got like 500 requests? I'm not suggesting that. I am not suggesting that. I think that doing a foundation is a wonderful, wonderful idea. And when you go through a trauma and have PTSD and loss, having something to focus on, something productive there where you can put your mind and energy is a wonderful thing. It helps with healing. That's a good tip, Blue-eyed butterfly. When you enter a live on YouTube or even a video on YouTube, just get yourself into a habit of look for the like button. Where's the like button? Let me hit that like button. So as Jen would say, hey peeps, chirp your way over and peck that like button. Because we have all the bird analogies over here. Yep. Yeah. And as soon as this live's over, my hair is going all up in a bun on top of my head. Okay. We're going to start with a document that I want to show you. And it's going to be this one. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Hold on. I've got some tabs up here. I got to find out. Tell me I didn't save it. Oh, no, I know it's one of these. Okay, convert. It's not that one. Not that one. It's not that one. What'd I do with it? Oh my God, I'm going to be so mad. I saved it in my drive. Hold on, I gotta find it. So it's a court document that I am pulling up, and it's the defense's witness list. Okay. So, of course, let's write down. Let me see if this one's it. I think I saved it on my phone, and then oh my God, that's so annoying. That's not it, I don't think. All right. I have it. Hold on. Timing, limine. Maybe it's at the top. Oh, I made a folder called witness list, you guys. Do you think I checked that first? No. I'm so organized. I can't use my organization. Crazy. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, I hope this is the defense. State of Idaho. I don't think this is the right one. States witness list. Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time. I know I have it. I saved the states. So this is, let's just look. This was the state's witness list. So the prosecution. Let me make sure I'm adding it to the stage. Okay, you can see it. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. It's a lot of organizing you got to do. And it's hard when you've got a bunch of tabs opened up. So this was the states, and let's see if he was on here. No. Okay. So we're looking at the B's. So this is the prosecution. They wanted Eric Bailey, Nick Balance, Sandra Baraskis, Cole Barenberg, Wyatt Berry, Heather Barnhart, Jared Barnhart, Mason Barstow, Lyndon Beck, Jacqueline Beliveau, Dustin Blaker, Kenny Bonifin, Den Boker, Jennifer Braun. That's interesting. Brandon Briscoe, Vince Browning, Sadie Buck. Dago might like to hear that name. Sadie Buck for the prosecution. Maybe she will put Peter over at that farmer fraternity. And Patrick Butner. Okay. So I'm going to look one more time. Let me do, oh, it'll be recent. Let me look under my recents. This one. Nope. Oh, you dirty dog. Let me see if I got it on my phone. I said, oh, you dirty dog. I think I found it on my phone. No. All right. I'm going to go to Google. We're going to do, here, I'll let you see what I'm doing. Brian. Did I spell it right? Nope. Brian C. Koberger. Defense witness list. That's probably going to be, let's see. This is it. All right, we got it. Let me make sure you can see it. I just didn't save it. So this is the defense's witness list, okay? Uh-oh. Hey, Deborah Ackland. No worries. You'll have time to catch up with me looking for this document. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Making sure the chat was okay. So, defense witness list. And we're going to go to the B's. And we've got, share this tab so you can see it. Okay. We've got Beverly Baffis, Eric Bailey. That's interesting. Some of these people were prosecution and defense. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God, this is the wrong one again. Oh, wait, did I just click on the wrong link? Because the other one looks different. Here it is. Here it is, you guys. Let's blow this up. Okay. To the B's. The B section. Oh, no, these are by first names. Interesting. All right. We're going to go to the M's because we're looking for Mason Bangman. This is not the right one. Is someone punking me? Someone's punking me. Oh, this was the second amended. The first one had Mason Bangman on it, you guys. The first one had Mason Bangman on it. I swear. So they amended it and they took him off. That's interesting. All right. So I kind of wondered if it was updated anyways, because like you can see here, it says defendant's second amended phase 2 mitigation. See, this is the mitigation witness list. Oh my God. The one I was looking at was both. I don't know what the other term for it is. I swear I had this all saved and queued and lined up. I'll find it later in my drive and then I'll smack myself in the head because I couldn't find it. So I'll make a note, find it for tomorrow. So I'll prove to you, but I'm not going to waste any more time on that. But I thought it would be good to start with Mason Bangman. When you think Bangman, think of the arrest video we watched. Okay. He was the arrest video. And I'll show you some photos of him. I wanted to look at everything information-wise that we had about him because he used to date Xana. And I have not been able to find his name in a report. He was a Delt. Lots of Delts that are connected to the 1122 house. Discussion about Xana's ex, and we all assume it's Pete. But could it be Mason? I feel a sneeze coming. I did a silent sneeze. I couldn't get to the mute button. Okay. I'll let you see my tabs. I have a folder just for Bangman. So we looked at this one. This is Mason Bangman with Xana. Oops, add to the stage. There you go. So yeah, just real quick. Okay, Mason Bangman, what we know, he was a Delta Tau Delta. He was a senior in the year 2022 to 23. He graduated in the spring of 2023. Okay, I found his name on the commencement list or something like that. So he was a freshman in 2019. So he was a year older than Xana. She was a junior, I believe. I'm thinking they dated in the spring of 2021. Wait a minute. Yes. It looks like she probably started dating Ethan in the spring of 2022. Not sure about that 100%. He's connected to this house, but yet we hear nothing about him that night. I haven't seen anything about him living in the frat or not living in the frat. What else don't we know about him? Anything about where he was that night? Did he go to the Betty Ball formal? Just lots of questions and no information about him. So this is what we're diving into. So let me show you some more. Oh, a good question about this photo right here. And I think it was Amber Vance that was talking about this. And we're going to watch a clip of her because she put some things together about Mason Bangman here. And if you notice, it looks like this photo is taken on the balcony of the 1122 house. There's no dog bed. So this, we could assume, would have been the year before. This would not be, obviously, this is not the fall of 2022. So that's a duh question to me. This had to have been before Xana moved in, I would guess. She's with, I'm not guessing. It has to be. We have to put the clues together. So this would have been the year that only Maddie lived in the house with all the Pi Phi girls. But Xana's there. Looks like they're going to some formal event. So when we start talking about the different formals and stuff like that, one thing that I'm trying to collect are dates on these photos. And sometimes they get cropped from a source and then the date gets removed. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I knew what date this photo was taken. Because that would be very helpful. So for any of you that are sleuthing out there, those dates are so helpful. Can I? Nope, it won't go one at a time. So here they are again. I mean, that's a very like they're close. They're close, right? I put that on the thumbnail. Hey, Lori. Okay, Mason Barstow is another guy. He is not this guy. There are two Masons, and both their names end in B. This is Bangman, and they're both Delts. And we're talking about both of them, but this is not Mason Barstow. This is a different Mason. Oh my God, why can't I keep my tab? This one, okay. Struggling. So here's his frat brothers. We looked at this the other day. So those of you that want to see the difference, Mason Barstow is center top with the beard. That's Mason Barstow. We're not talking about him. He's the vice president he was at this time. At the time of the murders, he was the vice president. He's the one we have the interview for. He's the one that knows everybody on campus. I have a lot of thoughts about him. We have a lot of information about him. Mason Bangman over here. Same year as Mason Barstow. There's nothing about him, and I think that draws attention. Here was his arrest mugshot. We watched that video Tuesday. So if you missed Tuesday's live, we watched his arrest. There was some interesting information in there. He got arrested for fighting in Boise, Idaho. And then he also caught a drug charge because he had white powder in his system. So here's a nice cleaned up photo of him. And I think this is, there's a date on this one. December 6, 2021. Here we go. December 2021. He's with Xana. So there's a date. December of 21. Mason Bangman is at least at a formal with Xana. Also, this guy on the end here on the left, I believe that's CG. So supposedly in one of the reports, they say that CG was an ex of Xana's. So that's Christian Gonzalez, supposedly. We'll come back to that. We will come back to that photo. Okay, so that's who we're talking about today. And we're going to have Amber Vance help us out with some information. Give me 1 second. Let me know in the chat, what do you think about an ex-boyfriend of one of the victims possibly not being interviewed? I don't know. I have not come across an interview of him. Not being mentioned at all, even though he was probably connected with that house. What do you think about him? Clearly, he just got arrested in 2025. With substances. And if we're questioning substances in this case, I think that's a connection. Carlos would say, certainly doesn't eliminate him. And I'm going to explain visually, like, my thought process through all of this. I am not accusing any of these college students of committing these crimes. I do not think that. I say this on every episode. I'm trying to understand the silence, the secrecy around things. I understand not wanting to say things that make you look bad, might get you in trouble. I understand that, and I can differentiate that. To me, what I'm hearing in all these interviews is more than that. Let me know if you guys understand what I'm saying or agree with it or disagree. Guilty knowledge. That's a good way to say it. Guilty knowledge. Yeah. Yep. All right, let me pull this up. And I got a timestamp of 43:55. So again, this is Amber Vance, and she's doing an Idaho 4 series, and she has done a wonderful job identifying people, explaining relationships, explaining some different timelines. And she put together what she knows about Mason. So this is part 14. And I'm going to like 43:55. We'll go. Oh, I'll have to start here. Okay.
Noticed some damage to BK's hands. Then on October 14th, Brian Koberger was pulled over for a routine traffic stop at WSU. That is twice now that BK was pulled over in less than 2 months. And also on October 14th, the same day, around 1 a.m., a girl named Ava Wood, who we'll run across again later. Ava was also in Kaylee's sorority, but was also friends with Xana. And she lived in the little apartments beside the.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this image up on the screen for a second. So this is Ava Wood. Okay. And the gold star with the circle is where the 1122 house used to be. Okay, that's the lot. So you could see right across the street. So right across the street to the right is the Whites, and right across the street to the left is an apartment building where Ava Wood lived. Hey, Kiss Me. Hi, Hanky Panky Mom. Tattoo Gal. Hello. Mikey's here. Hello, Mike. Hey, Chillin' 286. Good to see you. Perfectly Broken Me. Hello. Glenn, I hope I said hello to you. Tony Stevenson, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you again. That's right. Is that what we need to do, Tony? Is that what we need to do? We might as well. Someone else made the comment that, it probably would be smarter for us to all crowdsource and raise the $20,000 that it would cost to get the whole entire case file instead of piecemealing 500 here, 800 there, 1,000 here, to get these individual documents. We should just be like, give it all over. Sleuther 75. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Once I get this video going, I will I'll go look at that. All right. So this is Ava Wood she's talking about, and Ava Wood did live in this apartment across the street from the 1122 house.
Whites. Not in the white apartments, but in the little ones right next to it, just across the street from 1122. And in MPD 109, she told police that she heard what she thought was a male walk up to her door and try to open it. Now, if we pull up the pictures of where Ava lived, in this picture of the front of the building, you can see the King Road house looming directly behind it. And I guess that Ava was one of the people that was interviewed for James Patterson's book, The Idaho 4. And Ava also appeared on the Amazon documentary. But in the book, she gave more detail into this incident. This is in chapter 118, page 369 of this book. She said that night she heard her doorknob jingle, like someone tried to open it, but that she had the deadbolt locked. But then she said this, that at the time, she'd looked on Snapchat to see if any of her friends were in the area, and she saw one, Mason Bangman, and texted him to ask if he had just tried to let himself in. No, he'd said. So Ava asked him to check the street. She watched through her bedroom window as Mason and a couple of friends walked into view. He texted Ava that he couldn't see anyone. Mason Bangman, huh? Well, that's a familiar name. We just talked about him in my last video. Mason Bangman is the guy that Xana was seeing in the spring of 2022 before her and Ethan got together. He's also the guy that Ethan and Ethan's best buddy Peter both did not get along with. So why exactly was Mason Bangman and a couple of friends?
See, I thought that was important. I wonder where she got that from. There's probably a report somewhere that says it. But she's saying that Peter and Ethan did not get along with Mason Bangman. I mean, that might be a logical conclusion because technically they're all exes. They're all exes. Uh-oh. Oh, G-Bean, did you mean remove the comment off the screen? I thought there was a comment that needed to be removed in the chat. I know, Becky. It's just it just screams frat boy, doesn't it? It just screams like typical movie frat boy. Yeah. Yep. So I just thought that was interesting. It's alleged that Peter and Ethan didn't like Mason Bangman.
Keep in mind that Mason Bangman was also in the DTD frat, in the same fraternity as Mason Barstow and Jack Showalter and Connor Chestnut and Jake Schreiger and Kai Davis and Lyndon Beck and Ethan Runge. Sheesh. So the friends with Mason Bangman were also likely delts. I mean, that's not guaranteed.
Those are all a lot of names that just came out recently once something got said about the delts. Like, and I do remember like picking up on that very quickly, like reading something or seeing something and being like, wait a minute, this isn't a Sigma Chi. I think it was when one of the Sigma Chi interviews, they talked about the delts being the ones that you would go to get substances. I was like, okay, because that's the path I have been down, is to find that connection. And lo and behold, here's all these delts. I think it was when I started figuring out who was in what fraternity for sure. That has helped tremendously. So all those names she just said that we've heard, they've all dated girls in the house and they're all delts.
But it's likely. But regardless of who was with him, why was Mason Bangman hanging around the King Road house? Somewhere I doubt he was welcome at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm also 97.5% sure that in the Amazon documentary.
So she's going back to what Ava Wood said. Let me back that up. Did it must have been, okay, so Ava was talking about October of 2022. I don't know if she said the exact date. I'll back it up after we get to the end of this. If this was in October of 2022 and he's been broken up with Xana for less than a year, so her and Ethan could not have been dating for more than a year. Why is there confusion about that? Because some people will say, oh, Xana and Ethan have been together for over a year. But she's with Mason Bangman here December 21st or December of 21. So why would he be in the neighborhood or across the street from 1122? I mean, he could just be walking by. Could be.
One Night in Idaho, I think it was called. Ava explained that she could see the King Road house from her bedroom window. That's how on November 13th, she saw her friends huddled up outside after the police arrived because her window faces the King Road house. So if Ava looked out that window to see Mason Bangman, that means he was on the King Road house side of her apartment building. Just something I noticed, something I thought was a little interesting. Then around mid to late October, it seems that a few altercations broke out. We have a few different documents where there's some mention of some type of fight or incident. And these reports are made by several different people. And I'm still trying to sort out whether or not this was all the same incident or whether some of the incidents were separate. I'm still trying to figure out which ones may be the same incident and which ones may be a different incident. But we know for sure that on October 15th, at least one of these fights occurred. Because in a text exchange between Dylan Mortensen and Detective Blaker on November 19th, Dylan gave him names of people involved in a fight at their house on October 15th. She named 3 people, which of course, Moscow Police Department redacted. But the first is a J, followed by a lowercase h. I think this could be Jack Showalter. I'm unsure though, but I think that it could be just because, remember, Dylan also told the police that she thought Jack Showalter could have been involved in the homicides. She was quick to throw his name out there. But in this message, whether it's Showalter or not, Dylan told police that Jay had made weird flirty comments to Kaylee and got into a fight at our house on October 15th. She said Kai Davis was also involved in the fight. That name was easy to guess. But then there's an AR.
So this is October 15th, 2022. And there was a Pi Phi. No, I'm sorry. Erase that. Alpha Phi formal. I don't think Kaylee could have went because she wasn't in the sorority anymore. So not sure where this fight was. It at their house? Got in a fight at our house. I'm just going to back this up a second. I was writing. Okay. Sorry about that.
May be the same incident and which ones may be a different incident. But we know for sure that on October 15th, at least one of these fights occurred. Because in a text exchange between Dylan Mortensen and Detective Blaker on November 19th, Dylan gave him names of people involved in a fight at their house on October 15th. She named 3 people, which of course, Moscow Police Department redacted. But the first is a J, followed by a lowercase h. I think this could be Jack Showalter. I'm unsure though, but I think that it could be just because, remember, Dylan also told the police that she thought Jack Showalter could have been involved in the homicides. She was quick to throw his name out there. But in this message, whether it's Showalter or not, Dylan told police that Jay had made weird flirty comments to Kaylee and got into a fight at our house on October 15th. She said Kai Davis was also involved in the fight. That name was easy to guess. But then there's an AR also involved with the fight that night. I don't know who AR is, but Bethany also mentioned a fight in her interview in PD 90. Bethany stated 2 guys from the blank house, guaranteed that's the DTD house, JH, and another guy she only knew as R, got into a fight and were told to leave. She stated this fight occurred about a month before the incident at the house. But see here, Bethany also names a JH. And that H is capitalized like a proper last name, which makes me think JH is not Showalter. But I'm not sure who JH could be. Bethany also mentions someone only known as R. But notice Bethany does not mention Kai in the people involved in that fight. But that R makes me think that they could be talking about Ethan Runge, the guy that Kaylee had been talking to at some point and that Jack DeCour talked about in his interview. And remember, like we talked about in my last video, the officer kind of made it sound when he was talking to other people like it was Jack DeCour that got into some type of fight with Adelt. Go back and watch my last video if you want to know more about that, because I cut clips from the interview and everything. But neither Dylan or Bethany in their statements say anything about Jack DeCour being involved in this fight on October 15th. So I don't know if this is the same incident that Jack and the officer were talking about. And then there's even more reports that make me even more confused. But I'm still pretty certain that the guys, the 2 girls mentioned, were DTD guys. And I think this could also be the incident that Mason Barstow and Jack Showalter talked about in their interviews. In Mason's interview, he mentioned that just recently, approximately 3 or 4 weeks ago, that one of the guys in his house got into a fight at a formal. He said the university is still looking into the fight at that formal event, but that Mason was gone the weekend of the formal.
Okay, so yeah, we hear Mason Barstow again, not the guy I'm talking about today. Mason Barstow, we had his interview. It's the newest interview that came out. He does talk about like he's in charge of his fraternity and he knows where all his guys are all the time. Like that's weird. He stays on top of things. He handles all the issues, and he is talking about the same fight supposedly. He does share names. He does say the names. They're just silenced because we're not allowed to hear them.
Mason said it looks like whoever was in the wrong place at the wrong time and got caught in the middle of the altercation. He recommended to the university.
Maybe if it was Kai Davis, maybe Kai is the one in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like he's not really getting in trouble. He's not the one that would start it.
That he write apology letters to the university and to the sorority, but that the DTD house is now waiting to hear if they are on suspension or not, based on the formal incident and a couple of hazing allegations.
But think about this. I mean, well, we do have initials, so that's why. I mean, apparently this can't be Mason Bangman. They're not saying MB. We've got initials JH and AR. And Kai Davis. I don't know. This not real relevant to what I'm going to be talking about, but it's in here in this part, so we're going to listen to it.
And Mason said that 2 guys were involved in the incident at the formal event, and they were both knocking on death's door and will probably get cut from the chapter. One of the guys was the one who instigated the altercation. And then in Jack Showalter's second interview, which is ISP number 37, the officers asked Showalter about the most recent issues resulting in a suspension for the DTD frat. And Showalter mentioned some freshman hazing and then 2 issues at the sorority's off-campus function. The first involved 2 guys. One was picking on a guy at the party and calling him Kermit the Frog. Eventually, a scuffle broke out, and the other guy was just backing up the first guy once the scuffle started. And Showalter also said that there was another incident at the same party involving a couple of freshmen from some fraternity throwing hangers and causing damage. So what I'm wondering is if the Pi Phi sorority had a formal event on October 15th, or if Alpha Phi had a formal event.
I think it's Alpha Phi.
A formal event where they could have been hosting a party at the King Roadhouse for that formal. It would become, like Jack Showalter said, an off-campus function. And I don't know for sure that the incidents that Mason and Showalter is talking about is the same incidents that Bethany and Dylan were talking about, but I suspect that they could be. But then we have 3 different documents about another incident at a Halloween party. But we're going to return to that in just a second, because there were a couple of other disturbing events between October 15th and Halloween. On October 17th, Kaylee was followed by 2 men at Winco while she was inside buying beer, and Xana was waiting for her in the car. This is discussed in ISP 190. It states that one guy was following Kaylee around the store and then even followed her outside when she left. So the police tracked these 2 guys down and questioned them. And one of the guys explained that he just thought Kaylee was attractive and was following her around while he was trying to work up the nerve to talk to her. And the police also noted that while reviewing that store footage, that the same 2 guys appeared to also do something similar to another girl, was kind of following her around and then followed her outside to try to talk to her. And the guy explained that he goes outside to finally approach the girl because he's shy and doesn't want to get shot down in front of his buddy. And I'll admit, I've kind of dismissed this in the past, because even though that type of behavior is creepy and unsettling and not the way to pick up a girl, I didn't really think that this could be connected to the crimes. I just figured it was a couple of college dudes trying to pick up girls in a very ineffective and off-putting way. But on further consideration, I do find it a little odd how old these 2 guys were. The report states the 2 were students, either at U of I or WSU, I don't know which. And it lists their birthdays as 1994 and 1996. One was 28, the other was 26. And I guess I didn't pay much attention to their ages before.
This doesn't seem right to me. Let me see something.
Or because the kids at the King College, they have old by then. So I was before in realizing, and then just a few days after the Winco incident, something truly but it's I'm saying absolute buddy the also with that the
I feel
dog
like I have the wrong video.
videos of,
Wait a minute.
and then clearly all the girls are dressed up in
No, these are more. I guess that was it. So, did I not say? I guess I didn't put when to stop. Sorry about that, you guys. So, the main point here was that Mason Bangman here was at the house dating Xana, had this weird interaction
as Mason and
with Ava Wood here. So, this is in the Patterson book, and I just started listening to the Patterson book again on audio just to like see if there's any like relationship information in there. Like here, like on this page, it mentions Mason Bangman. We don't see his name like anywhere, but somebody gave an interview where they shared some information. So Ava Wood here. Ava Wood shared some information. So Mason Bangman dates Xana. He's doesn't like Pete and Ethan and got this weird thing with a jiggling door handle out in the neighborhood around the house. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share that video for. And then there was one more. And it was the part 13.
campus. Like I said, possibly concerning.
So again, Amber Vance, and let me do this. Give you guys the link. She's wonderful. I love her videos. Follow her if you have not. Amber, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the verdict room. I'd love to talk to you. So, yeah, what did I say? Part 13. I love this series she's doing. And this timestamp's going to be 32:10. 32:10. So almost towards the end. Let's see. We're almost there. We'll start here.
Also says that all three of them hung out together before Ethan and Xana got together, and all three hung out after. And that is true. The three of them, Pete, Ethan, and Xana, were often together. I've got a couple pictures of them together. But I did not know until recently that Xana and Pete had a thing before her and Ethan got together. And that is crazy in itself. And it also reminds me of something that Stacey Chapin said once in an interview about there not being any kind of weird love triangle. And something about the way she said it struck me as odd at the time. Because, like, why would she say that? I had never heard of a love triangle rumor. And so, I don't know, that always kind of stuck with me. But now I'm wondering, did she know about Xana and Peter? Did she know that Xana had been seeing Peter before Ethan? And if she did know, then why did she go along with the Ethan being Xana's first boyfriend thing? I'll see if I can find a clip of Stacey saying that.
So, what about Mason? Like, I would love to know how long which one was the longest relationship? Which one was the longest relationship? So if Mason was a freshman in 2019, Xana's freshman year would have been 2020. So she would have had the fall of 2020, the spring of 21, the fall of 21, the spring of 22, and the fall of 22. So we know that she was with Ethan sometime in the spring of 22 to the fall. So that's Ethan. I'm going to draw this out for you guys. I'm just doing it myself right now. We know she's got a photo of her and Mason Bangman in the fall of 21. That would be December. Fall of 21. So I wonder where Pete fits into all of that. Maybe Pete was like freshman year. I don't know. So wait, this would have been freshman. Sophomore. Yeah. Yeah, start of her junior year. Okay. I'll show you when we're done listening to
This investigation and attention.
And just so we're going to hear from the parents here of Ethan, you know, and my point was that they jump right to Peter. Like no love triangle, no love triangle, no love triangle. And sometimes I feel like in this case, one thing gets said, like one ex-boyfriend or one boyfriend, and then we get so focused on that and it just becomes the narrative that maybe we forget things that might be important, like another ex-boyfriend.
Has been overwhelming, and they wanted to clarify what they say is misinformation floating around.
The things that are being said are 100% not true. There's not drugs involved. There's not some weird love triangle.
To the victim.
Ethan was stayed the night at his girlfriend's house, who was one of 5 girls who lived in the home.
And this might be a random thought, but how rich are the Chapins? Like, how much influence do they have? I really do not know much about them. They've been pretty quiet over the years, quieter than some of the other families. And they're typically pretty unproblematic, so they don't make headlines that much, I guess. But I have always felt like they hold themselves a little separate than the other 3 families. And I always figured maybe it was just especially painful for them, or, you know, they had their reasons. But I'm just wondering how much they were able to shape the narrative behind the scene, I guess. And I'm not saying they did shape anything. I'm just curious. I'm just wondering.
Hi, Chillin.
Talking out loud. Because I really do not understand why
Todd.
the Chapins would play along with that Ethan was Xana's first boyfriend, you know, first everything, this big, beautiful love story. And I'm not saying they didn't have a beautiful love story. Just because Xana had boyfriends before Ethan doesn't mean their love wasn't real. But the story that was shoved down our throat is not true. And I don't understand the purpose of it. Because besides Pete, Xana also had another previous relationship.
Here we go.
With a DTD member. Like I've pointed out before, the residents of 1122 were heavily intertwined with the Delta Tau Delta frat.
Yeah.
All of them except Dylan, that we know of, was dating one or had dated one. There was Maddie's boyfriend, Jake. There was Maddie's whatever, Connor. There's Bethany and her kind of boyfriend.
So here, let me hold on.
Frank Kai, Kaylee and Mason Barstow. And before Ethan, it was Xana and Mason Bangman. So many double.
I was just going to say, like, think about that. Every girl in that house, except for Dylan. So does that show how tight her relationship with Quinn was? Because she was she a sophomore? Was Dylan a sophomore? So dating long distance. I mean, some people have that, you know, kind of relationship. I don't know. I want to hear these. I want to show these names again. Like, listen to this, you guys. The girls in one, I think we were so focused on Sigma Chi just because of Ethan for so long. People don't realize how important the delts are.
First boyfriend, you know, first everything, this before Ethan doesn't. And I don't understand the purpose of it. With a heavily intertwined with the Delta Tau Delta frat. All of them except Dylan, that we know of, was dating one or had dated one. There was Maddie's boyfriend, Jake. There was Maddie's whatever, Connor.
So Maddie's got a long-term relationship with Jake, and it's now a long-distance relationship because he's in Boise. And then she's got this, like, thing with Connor. Okay.
There's Bethany and her kind of boyfriend, Kai, Kaylee and Mason Barstow. And before Ethan, it was Xana and Mason Bangman. So many double names in this case. Too many Jackson Hunters and Masons. But it turns out that these two Masons were friends, Mason Barstow and Mason Bangman. And Xana was close with both of them. For a while, I even thought that Bangman was the Mason that Kaylee was seeing. Xana's big. So I figured that was the Mason that was in so many pictures with Xana. But it was not. We know now that Kaylee was seeing Mason Barstow. He was the Mason that was Xana's big. Though typically the big little role is something assigned within the same like fraternity or sorority. Kind of like Maddie was Bethany's big and Emily Allant was Dylan's big. They're all in the Pi Phi sorority. And Kaylee was the big of an Alpha Phi girl named Emma. Typically that kind of thing stays in the house. And I have received a few comments over time of people asking if I could explain that, like how Mason is Xana's big. But I don't really know either. But Barstow did try to explain
I
a little
think
in
I
his
know.
ISP number 44. It says, Xana Kernodle was his Greek little. A Greek little is not someone you are pursuing, but a friend who becomes part of your Greek family. His big told him to hang out with a few different houses, like the blank and the blank. They would have events where only their littles were invited. So even though I don't really understand, even Mason says that Xana was his little. And I guess since Mason was the VP of the DTD house, I guess that gave Xana VIP status within that frat too, which would explain why she was friends with so many delts and at so many of their functions. So yeah, all those pictures of Xana and Mason Bangman, that was not platonic cuddling. And there are even pictures of Xana and Mason Bangman together at the King Roadhouse. This is them on the balcony, which makes me wonder how long Xana and Ethan were really together. Because even if that photo was taken before Xana moved into the King Roadhouse in August for the fall semester, even if that picture was taken the previous spring when Maddie lived in the house, but the other roommates didn't yet. Even if Xana was just there with Maddie and Mason Bangman was with her and they took this photo, people still estimate in many statements that Ethan and Xana had been dating almost a year. Some say about 8 months, some say 6 months. And I always kind of thought it was closer to the year mark because we do know that Xana spent the summer with Ethan. But now, even if we take the lowest estimate at 6 months, that still puts 6 months from November at what? May? I can't say exactly when all these pictures were taken. And I don't know the time frame of Mason Bangman and Xana, and then the correct time frame of Xana.
I mean, if you look at there's no snow. She's in a, spaghetti strap dress outside. Is this spring? She's not very tan yet. So, maybe they were together for a few months.
Bangman and Xana, and then the correct time frame of Xana.
Ethan looks young there.
And Ethan. But it does seem like Xana had to have moved from Mason Bangman to Ethan Chapin relatively quickly. For her and Mason to have been taking all of these pictures together at the King Roadhouse, possibly in the spring. And then for Xana to have spent the summer with Ethan by the summer. But even before Mason Bangman, there was also someone else. And this someone, I'm still trying to properly identify. But this someone could also be someone of concern. Keep in mind, I don't know exactly who this person is yet or have connected all of these dots. I'm just going to give you all the rough connecting here. But I believe that Xana had an ex with the initials CG. And in ISP number 20, it talks about someone who may be the primary source of blank something on the U of I campus and dated Xana at some point. He also had been kicked out of the DTD frat and was not currently attending U of I. And
all right, you guys, I think out of this case, this one right here seems important to me, especially if we're making the drug connection. Who's that person that could have been the connection to the plug or whatever you want to call it in that world someone possibly at a fraternity who got in trouble for that, got kicked out for that. But CG, there's got to be another CG. I do not think this is Christian Gonzalez. He graduated. And I have it right here. Right here. So whoops. Right here. Okay. So he got a degree in business economics. And he lives in Eagle, Idaho. So I know in the in the documents, it'll say where they do the interviews at. So I'm going to go back and look for all the interviews that were done in Eagle, Idaho, and see if I can find Christian Gonzalez's interview. The initial J, H, and A are possibly Jesse Holisek and Adam Writing. Oh my God, Deborah. Not Eco Shield people. Are you serious? Oh, you just gave me an idea. Do you know how Mason I'm going to get confused now. Mason Barstow that did the interview. He said the night of the murders that a guy from out of town was visiting and staying in that cabin with his girlfriend. What if it's are these older guys or are these frat people? Those are some names I need to dig into. That's interesting. Trying to figure it out. Hey, Diego. Yes, Deborah. And try to look for dates, right? I want to, just out of curiosity, I'm curious the time frame that Xana dated Peter. So now we've got 4 guys in 2 years. No judgment. They don't need to be serious relationships. That they considered exes. 3 of them were exes. So we got Pete, Mason Bangman, CG, and Ethan. Ethan was the current one. So interesting. I don't think Christian Gonzalez was adult. He's in the photos. I got to look up the year. What year? But he graduated. You don't get kicked out of a university and then go back to the same university and graduate, do you? Like that I think once you're kicked out, right? You think she left him because of that? I don't know. Maybe. Hi, Michelle. How are you? All right. Okay, so I wanted to show that. That's my thoughts on Christian Gonzalez.
Kicked out of the DTD frat and was not currently attending U of I. And I believe this could be the same person referred to in MPD number 35, which was a tip about a Mexican drug dealer with the moniker.
Okay, I went down this route and there's a Mexican drug dealer with the moniker C. I don't think that is Christian Gonzalez at all. I did, however, tell me I wrote this down. Tell me I have this. Let me see. There's an interview. You guys know how this is. When you plan to stay on one topic for a show, you just, you find something and then it leads you over here and then it leads you over here. And I'm like, stay focused, Kim, stay focused. However, I did come across an interview. Did I write it down? Let me see if I wrote it down. 53 and 52. It might be different. MPD 109. I did not, but I will find it. There is an interview where someone is talking about somebody going to a party, but they put quotes, like they only knew the person's first name. I think it might be somebody at the rack. That's what it was. It's one of the, I think it's a Sigma Chi. I could be wrong, but he gets interviewed and they're all saying after the Sigma Chi party, we went over to the Whites in the upper right-hand apartment. And I believe that's the one they call the rack. And then they're asking him, and this is what's weird, because supposedly it's a party. It's a party, you guys. But he says there were only two guys there. And then I think one of the guys' names was in quotation marks. And I thought, oh, where have we seen just a short first name in quotation marks? Oh, this cartel C guy. So that I will cover that tomorrow. We already talked about the rack a little bit, but the report that goes with it, and all these, there's like, I swear, there's three, because it made me think of the Banfield boys, but I don't think it can be them because they all say that they were at the rack until like 5 a.m. Crazy. But I just wanted to share that CG information with you. All right, everybody. It's hard to stay on topic, I know. Okay, let me show you this. And, oh, before I do, I've got something I want to do today. And hopefully 5 of you just turned green. New peep alert. New peep alert. I'm just going to play the song just because I want to play the song.
Comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody drunk out on the dance floor. Baby girl ass jiggle like she want more.
All right. New peeps. Let's see who got those. Welcome to the coop. What am I looking at? Oh, that's the server. We have Trish Crow, Vicky Penny, Miss Seeker of Daylight. Oh, that's my name right there. CJ, and that's it. Welcome, welcome. Uh-oh, I see 2 up here. What was the other one? Dago. Dago gifted memberships. Thank you, Dago. That's so nice of you. He's matching me. Thank you so much. Turning 5. I probably read yours. Let me see. Who else got the other memberships? This backstage area needs to be bigger. There we go. We've got Sarah Side, Savcab, Teresa, Cheeseburger with a Z, and Lady Di 2. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Dago. I appreciate you. That was very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Uh-oh. Who needs a recovery? Gigi. Where's Gigi? Come and get my nieces. They're driving you bonkers. They want to play date with me. Oh my gosh. I should take them for a day when it cools down a little bit. You guys, Lori has the cutest little girl. I'm always going to call them puppies. They're so cute. Lisa and Wendy. I need to go get them and play with them for sure. Okay. And blue-eyed butterfly, 4 months. 4 months as a member. I appreciate you, blue-eyed butterfly. Happy 4-month anniversary. We got to celebrate that. We have to get ready for the 4th of July, right? Preparing for the 4th of July. Oh, Wellington, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've got 5 more peeps. 5 more unique peeps. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, Sarah. Well, I already read those. Here we go. Trish Crow. Vicky Penny, I read that one. This isn't letting me down enough. There we go. Leela 27. Debs in Space. Dog Mom. And Michael. Thank you, Wellington. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Okay, let me pull up. We're pulling up the inspector projector, you guys, real quick. Inspector projector time. What do I want? I want this. There we go. Can't get my mouse to move. There we go. All right, we'll see what this looks like. Nope. Yep. Maybe. This one? Why does this look funny? Okay, there we go. I don't know who was talking about a Venn diagram the other day, but it, stuck in my mind because we use those kinds of graphic organizers. Oh yeah, I remember someone asking, "What's a Venn diagram?" And I was like, "It's a graphic organizer." So this isn't a traditional one, but you can make them look any way you want. So what I did was I took, for my theory for this case, hey, Amy Conway, deep dive. I've got 3, you guys know. So I think we've got this group of people. I don't know how many and I don't know who. Okay. But this is like group 1 to me. Okay. And then we've got the victims. Most important. Okay. The victims of the house. And then we've got all these interviews. I should have just put college students here, but mostly it's when I put frats, fraternity, sorority people, right? So, I was thinking, so in these spaces, I put information that's only about them. Okay. But then in here, like, what do they all have in common? So to me, this shows that these three key parts of this crime, the victims, potential perpetrators, and witnesses, friends, things like that. Okay. So what do we know about each of them? So the people that I think are logical for being perpetrators would be these perps, because they're the big bosses. They have this would be their motive. Okay. Lots of anger, right? We know this was a brutal, horrific attack, right? Overkill. That's lots of anger. I don't know why. And there's 4 victims, so they could have different reasons still related to this for multiple of the victims. Okay. So, how do these two relate? We've got the people that live in the house. We've got a dad. We've got a mom and a stepmom. We've got 2 to 5 boyfriends in that house, plus the people that lived in that house that we know are connected to this. Like, we know that. So, selling, using, busted, snitching. I mean, I don't know. That's why I put a question mark here. Is it all 4? Is it just 2? 3 out of the 4? I don't know. So when I think about this topic, I'm not saying it, you guys. So if you're just listening, I'm pointing to a word on my paper so I don't have to keep saying, so I don't say it over and over again. But I'm talking about the drug theory, the perpetrators that could be with that theory. It could be about substances, but with the 4 victims, it could be the same big group of people, but maybe different reasons for the 4 is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's lots of different reasons. The house had access. To these people, to people who are related or connected. Keep using the word connected to these people. There's access in this house. There's a reason for this house with these people. To me, it looks like the house was used. The house was used for something. That's what it looks like to me. So I was thinking, these are the big bosses. And if you guys caught my live last night, Dylan came up and Leah came up, and they were both like, they think the perpetrators are over here. They think these guys are the real perpetrators. And I did not agree with that. They kind of had the same thinking, though. Like a personal, horrible attack because of this. So we were kind of aligned with like the motive, but different. Now I think it's these guys because the frats are only the little bosses. They're like the little bosses, right? These guys are the big bosses. They're really controlling things. They're giving orders. They're the if these guys go away, these guys don't have what they need. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? I don't know where that came from. That's from a show or something. Yeah, so I made a whole chart about Mason Barstow and how he seemed to be very organized. Now remember, this is the other Mason, the one that got interviewed. I'll show you his chart in a minute. But to me, big bosses, little bosses, making all those connections, this frat, this sorority, all that stuff, organizing stuff, possibly this, possibly. And over here with these guys, you know, why the frats? Well, relationships, connections, it's already organized. There's already an organization to it, right? And you get there's access. They have parties all the time. Parties all the time. Oh, Ernest. Who was that? Ernest T. What? What am I thinking of? What is that? Why did that pop into my head? Oh my gosh. Hi, Gramilla. Oh, side conversation going on over here. Yeah, Gramilla, do you live near a place that's trying to build those AI data centers? I live in a town and they're trying to build them in the town over to the west, and they're trying to build them town over to the right of me. So I'll be in the middle. But I'm on a lake, and that's why they have to be near a water source. Yep, they have to be near a water source. Brazilian Wellington. Oh, wow. I would love to go to Brazil. Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, that's how we fight back, right? Bamboo? That's funny. Hi, One Can Leanne. Ernest P. Worrell. I don't know. I'm sure Lori will tell me all about it later. Sleuther needs your help. Me or you need Sleuther's help? Yes, distributors. Let's add that one. Yes. For sure. Yep. Distributors. So I was thinking about all these, individual aspects, and then how do they, because to me, for trying to find a motive, what makes sense, how do you connect all four victims in some way, have a true motive for the brutality that happened. You got to have everything come together in the middle. And I don't think there's anything in the middle for Brian. Brian we can't even make a connection to the four or to the house. Anything. So to me, this theory makes sense because there's a clear motive. If we've got these people making plea deals and offering information, like confidential informant type stuff. That's a reason. And then you've got the people in the house, around the house, using, selling, all that stuff. So maybe doing something wrong. Maybe something else happened that made these people mad. I don't know. I don't know what could have happened. They would have access to people over here who would know about the house, been in the house, things like that. Give information about the house, the people in the house. They're all of them, all three of them have to do with using and selling this. We've got the parties. They're at the parties. They're at the parties. They're at the parties through a representative. There's a representative at these parties. And then they all have to have a relationship, right? These people, the victims have relationships with these people. These people have relationships with these people. We know they do. We know that there's stuff going on in those houses, either the official houses or the off-campus live out houses. Okay. Yeah. So that's my thinking. That's my reason, how everything connects together, motive, all that stuff. What my path is lately is focusing on who over here. I think there's somebody here that was the connection to the plug. Now, I've never heard that word plug before, except plug 1, plug 2, De La Soul. Do you guys know that? Plug 1, plug 2, plug 1, plug 2. Any of you that old? Police officers can't be included. I'm not doing that right now, but yeah. Oh yeah, especially what some of the other channels are discovering. Yeah. A big steppa. I don't even know if I'm using the word correctly. I am going to play an interview where I heard it though. Hey, Bubbly. Maybe someone else wrote that name earlier. Yeah, I don't know. That's a Sigma Chi guy, isn't it? Isn't that Jesse H, a Sigma Chi guy? So I don't know. Try working in nursing. Yes, plug. I figured out that much, that the plug is the connection. But to me, this person is more over here. Like if this was a scale, they're more on this side than this side. I think they're more over here with the big bosses, but this person's not a big boss. But this is someone, and I'm talking about the plug. The plug itself, I think, is like a low-level person that's like can get to the stash to hand it off to whoever this connection is. Who's the connection? And that's what I'm looking for. And you know who I think the connection is the CG who was kicked out of the fraternity because he was the biggest provider on campus. It's literally, I'm not making this up. It's written in a police report. Okay. It's written in a police report that somebody with the initials CG was a person providing something. Were they providing candy? Were they the biggest candy provider on campus? Were they the biggest I don't know. What were they providing on campus? Give me something funny to say. I can't even think of anything funny right now. Bubbles? They were providing bubbles on campus. They were providing makeup. They were the makeup provider on campus. They were the biggest makeup provider on campus. I mean, come on. What do we think it is? Yes, kiss me. Yes. So this is how I see it. I think so I'm going to start from the bottom. And everybody keeps stealing my good pens in my house, you guys. Tell them to quit stealing my pens. So I think we have the victims. You can't see that. And I lost my good marker. Where's it at? Did it fall? I just need more padding under here. Hold on, you guys. I need a reminder to buy more markers for the inspector over here. So I feel like we have the victims, and then we've got any college student selling or even just getting. And then we've got the connector. And I think this is a college student. And I think it's whoever this CG guy is. So you got the victims. They're, using and getting from somebody who knows this person. Okay. Like people just buy from somebody that, hey, I know a guy and I can get it, right? That's normally who people get stuff from. And then this person, I think, tries to stay a little bit more low key, right? Because they're a little bit higher up. And then this person knows this person, and this person is the big supplier. Whoops, I cannot. These are just my thoughts. Just my thoughts, how it might work. Victims. College students, where they're getting whoever they're buying and selling it from, somebody they know, somebody they see all the time, somebody at a party, somebody's room in a house, somebody's dorm, not a dorm room, but room. They're getting it from whoever this connector person is. And this is who I'm looking for. Who is this? And I wanted to talk about Mason Bangman today because he seems to be like hidden. Like we don't know a whole lot about him. So that's my question. And I don't think anybody I'm talking about is guilty of anything. They're not guilty of anything. I just, they're not, it's just there's information that I think is being held back about them. And I don't understand why, or they're not sharing information. Like why? Because we really want the real truth. that I think leads back up to, you know, the big organization. That's what I think. All right. So to show you more evidence of why I think that, not evidence, but an example or a resource that I use that kind of helped me come up with thinking like that was Chris O'Flaherty. Do you guys remember, if you were here, we covered oh, and by the way, the oh no, that was Mason. That was Mason. Never mind. Caden Young. Right here. Nope. I think that's the wrong one. I don't want this one. This one. So just to give an example, let me take this down. Chris O'Flaherty was the student that was with Caden Young before he died from an overdose. He's the student. He was a University of Idaho student. I think he was in the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity. I think that was the fraternity. Caden Young overdosed. Demetrius and Emma were the ones arrested for that. Hearing Chris O'Flaherty speak about his Greek life. Thank you, Senior Wazowski. Appreciate you. Yeah, I said he's explaining like Greek life and what it's like with drugs on campus. So I think this is very important to listen to him and what he has to say. So shout out to Logan this was a really good records request that she got. Caden Young. Chris O'Flaherty. This is Chris O'Flaherty. I don't think I wrote down. Where's my thing? I got papers all over the place. Trying to organize myself. Still on the clipboard. I gotta find if there's a time, if I put a time stamp. Yeah, 118. 118. This is where I got the word plug. This is where I got the word plug. Okay, if you have not watched this video, there's actually two parts, okay? So this one right here is the first part of Chris O'Flaherty at his apartment after Caden Young has died, and the police officers are there with him, and he is not. His friend, his good friend that's there visiting him just died, and this kid holds back information. So that's example number one right there. Like, extremely close friend, frat brother, right? Brothers to the end, do or die, ride or die. I'm not telling you information, about my friend that just died in my house 2 hours ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this shows that. And it also, to me, you will hear the officer. The officer's going to say stuff about the fraternities. And then he's going to say stuff about the fraternities. Oh my gosh, where am I? Where is it? It's gotta be this. Yes. Okay.
trace yours, Trey. The ID, and there's obviously yours. Yeah. Your fingerprints will probably be on the bags.
So they obviously found a tray used for the activities, and I think maybe some substance. But he was like, deny, not mine, not mine. I don't know who it is. Like, until like this officer probably asked him the same questions 4 or 5 times. And we all were praising this officer because he didn't give up. He didn't take one answer and stop asking. He went back at this kid, and every time he got a little bit more information out of him, the cop got a little bit more pissed off. Like, hey, by the end, he's like, dude, you've been lying to me. I know you're lying to me. Tell me the truth, right? So this is the part where he's finally going to get some information out of him.
Cocaine and sandy bars, right?
Probably.
Okay, so
But I didn't use them.
if there's somebody you're protecting, you're obviously not a cartel member from Colombia, so you're not Chapo. We want to know where you are getting that from.
See, I love that. He's like, where are you getting it from? Who are you getting this from? You're not Chapo. That was funny. You're not Chapo. Who are you getting it from?
Because there's enough of it around here, and there's enough networking around here. We've dealt with cases on Snapchat that led from Idaho back here to Tacoma, down to Chehalis, that involved 6 or so dead people. That's where I'm getting at. Snapchat is...
Did you guys hear that? He's talking about Snapchat. And he said, we have documented people from Idaho to this place, that involved, he said 5 or 6 deaths just from those communications that he's talking about. I wonder if that's related, that statement right there. I don't know if anybody's pulled out that statement before. Is that statement 5 or 6 deaths related to this one Snapchat chain locations? Is that related to the Moscow deaths?
tunnel, but there's also plenty of cocaine and Xana bars right here. What bar do you...
He calls Snapchat the tunnel, you guys. Here, I'm going to play. I'm seeing if I got this all the way up. Is this up? Yeah. My computer's all the way up. All right. I got it all the way up. He calls Snapchat the tunnels.
You go to if you want to go out. 6 or so dead people. That's where I'm getting at. Snapchat is the tunnel, but there's also plenty of cocaine and Xana bars right here. Because there's enough of it around here, and there's enough networking around here. We've dealt with cases on Snapchat that led from Idaho back here to Tacoma, down to Chehalis, that involved 6 or so dead people. That's where I'm getting at. Snapchat is the tunnel, but there's also plenty of cocaine and Xana bars right here. What bar do you go to if you want to go out? The hub or the tower?
I don't go to.
You never go to. Okay, you got a fake ID.
No, I don't.
Okay, but you never go to a bar.
See, these cops know, and I've listened to this probably like 4 times just this morning. I didn't realize the cop said the name of the clubs until I put the closed captioning on. The cop knows they're dealing or receiving at the clubs. The clubs, you guys. The clubs. And the cop knows. Do you go to the hub or the tower? He knows. The hub or the tower. Where was Mason Bangman arrested? At a club, sitting outside of a club, right?
Okay, you got a fake ID.
No, I don't.
Okay, but you never go to a bar.
No.
There's bars that will serve you here at 20.
I don't. I go to bars. Ask my roommate. I've never gone to a bar.
Your roommate's never seen that trade before.
Jeff,
So I'm not sure how to
I don't
calibrate
go
it.
to bars.
Okay.
You could look at my bank statement for all I care. There is no bars.
You said earlier that you get your cocaine from your girlfriend.
Yes.
What's her name?
Bella.
Bella? What's her last name?
Is this who you're trying to protect?
No.
Be fucking honest.
No,
right
it's
now.
not her.
Because right now you're thinking you're gonna
No.
see your lips moving. You don't want to tell her last name.
Because it's my fucking girlfriend. She does not sell.
The cop said, I know you're lying because your lips are moving. This cop has had it with this kid.
She got it for me. She's my connect.
See, right there. He goes to his girlfriend. You know, you go to somebody who can get it. Who can get it? The connect.
To the plug.
That's a big word for somebody that doesn't do too many drugs.
I lived in a frat house. I was buying plenty of
Well, I'm well aware where you went to college.
I lived in a frat house. There's plenty of drugs. This is a University of Idaho student talking in 2023. I believe this was this 23? I think so. Yeah, in a fraternity at the University of Idaho. And this is what he says.
I lived in a frat house. I was buying plenty of
Well, I'm well aware where you went to college. There's how many people killed over there? I mean, there's
I'm well aware. I know we talked about this before, but
plenty of partying.
Thanks. Those are my friends. Don't reference them like that.
I'm just saying there's partying at every college. I'm not trying to piss you off.
so there's a connection right there. Like just a, you know, I don't want to sit out here and like say crazy things that make absolutely no sense. We have a college student from the university we're talking about who lived in a frat house at the same time period of the murders, verifying with his own words that there are substances in the frat house. And then this same student was friends with the people in that house. He's saying it. I'm not.
I'm just trying to let you know that.
Well, I don't need to keep getting killed, especially after 4 of my friends were killed and he just died.
Let's not focus back on that. Let's talk about your girlfriend last.
It's McGill. But she didn't fucking...
Christopher.
It's just annoying as fuck.
If she knows the plug, then she'll talk to us.
It's Dustin.
Dustin who?
I don't know his last name. I just know Dustin.
Okay.
Christopher, is that D? Dustin?
No, it's not Dustin. D is a big black dude. Dustin's the scrawny white guy.
Okay, so Emma's partner D is not Dustin?
No.
So Chris, as we continue to talk, a little more shakes out.
Mm-hmm. See, and to me, that's the mistake right there that they made with these interviews, with the interviews with ISP and MPD and stuff like that we're seeing. Like we just hear them ask one question, they get one answer, and then they move on, and they didn't try to really get to the bottom of anything, right? Yeah. What do you guys think? Did this guy consent to his phone being downloaded? Hi, Witchy was. Yeah. Actually, I do think they took his phone at the end. I do. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the whole video. I think I dropped the link in there for you guys so you can go watch it too. Yeah. Mike, I saw your comment that, what did you say? That the chain, the people that they OD'd on. Well, I mean, maybe, but the video we were watching was the day that Caden Young OD'd. So I don't know how they would have already had, I mean, it could be, you know, with that. Either way, they're tracking the drug sales and, you know, that world with Snapchats. Yep. Could be. You know, Bubbly, is it Mick or is it just Gil? I thought these were two different last names. I thought they were two different last names. Because I thought about that too. Yeah, Snapchat's where it's at, you guys. Snapchat's, and you would think law enforcement would be like all over Snapchat. Like we need, okay. Yeah, very ironic. But again, we have so many coincidences and crazy things in this case, right? Yeah, to me, I heard him say McGill. I think. I don't know. We have to go back and check that out. Yep. I feel like I need to become an expert in Snapchat. How does it work? I'm going to start using it with my daughter. The only thing I ever did on Snapchat was my daughter had played this this sound, and she held up her phone, and when it was one of those filters and we were both in the camera and it put hippie glasses on us and you had to like bob a certain way to the music. I still have that video. I love it. It's like one of my favorite ones. That's the only thing I've ever done on Snapchat. Oh, hey, Critic Rick. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go back and check that out. You know, I thought that. Was it in that one house? Was it in the... Is that a name? Wasn't there a Bella in the 1112 camera house or one of those houses? I don't know. This is going to get interesting. I mean, if nothing else, I want to find out, you know, I'm just trying to look at who all these people were and who said what and what information can we get. Oh, because it was YouTube captioning. Absolutely. YouTube, any captioning system does not always put everything perfectly. At the tree house. Okay. So I'd have to go back and listen. It might not be correct. Uh-oh. We might be onto something there. Another connection. Who knows? Oh, it is worse than most, Witchy? Yeah. You guys are amazing. Like, I get so much help from you guys with, you know, maybe correcting something that I might have a little off, or sharing a photo, or helping to, like, you know, research some things or find some things. I appreciate it so much. Very grateful for all of you. I know we all collectively have different things to add. So hopefully I can be like just a voice and share things that we all come up with. I think it would hurt after a while sitting. Oh yeah. Yeah. Little Mason, I shouldn't say little, Mason Barstow that gave the interview, he spilled the beans that one of his frat brothers spent the night at the 1112 house. I mean, he didn't say the word spent the night, but he said he was there. So, yeah, there was a Delta Tau Delta in the pumpkin house that night. Very interesting. Oh, and before I leave, did I show you guys the correct? Oh my gosh. Let me see. She sent it to me. Thank you to Sleuther75. She sent me the link to the correct defense witness list, you guys. And who do you see? I got to go up or down? Oh, down, 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 down. Right there. Dun, da, da. For the defense. So it's just interesting to think, oh my goodness. Yeah, I see Lyndon Beck on there too. Why would they put him on the defense list, especially when we don't have any information from him? I don't know. Oh, you can't see it. Can I have one episode where I don't do that? Can I have one episode? So this is a court document. This is the defense's court document. Now, like I said, this was their first defense list. So it could have changed, or witness list, I should say. Could have changed, but Mason Bangman was on there. Okay. So why? Yeah. Oh, did you guys see Ophelia in the background? Tomboy Charm. That's the cowboy outfit she made for Ophelia over here. So she's a cowboy, baby. I used to like Kid Rock. I used to sing that, all the songs on that CD back in the 90s. Oh my gosh. Did you mean to publish? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Gotcha. All right, you guys, I'm going to go run out into the sunshine. I got all my power washing done yesterday. I did like 3 big patio areas that we have yesterday. And now I got to go do a little weed whacking out there. So, hey, Gigi Butler. Hello, hello. Critic Rick, I'm going to go back and look at those emails and see what we got in there. I thank you all so much for being here today. My little co-host. Yep. Yes, she is. I hope you get to enjoy your day today as well. I'm sure Dago at the True Crime Cafe is going to go live later today. He always waits for me to get off, so it probably won't be long. So be checking for him. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Same time, same channel. They used to always say that. Have a great day, everybody. I'm clocking out. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. That could be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we called it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.